80 million years ago, there was an ocean in the heart of North America, ruled by creatures of monstrous proportions. Imagine a place where even today's largest shark wouldn't stand a chance, and where the reign of these creatures was absolute. You'll encounter predators so gigantic and deadly that, if they existed today, there would be nowhere to hide. Stay until the end, because the final predator we reveal will challenge your very idea of underwater terror. The Tylosaurus wasn't just a simple marine reptile. Measuring 14 meters in length, it dominated the waters with impressive agility for such a large creature. Its giant jaw could swallow prey whole. And what did it eat? Everything. There was no limit to its hunger. It fed on anything that swam in its path, from fish to other mosasaurs, and its ability to hunt in the dark depths made any attempt to escape useless. With its massive tail and aerodynamic body, Tylosaurus hunted with speed. Its hunt wasn't just a necessity, it was a spectacle of destruction, with prey literally swallowed alive. There was no place to hide because it always found its victims, no matter where they tried to hide. When it attacked, there was nothing left. Now, if you thought it was the most lethal of the ocean, Mosasaurus hoffmanni will surprise you. Mosasaurus hoffmanni was the true king of the ocean. 17 meters of pure destruction. Its mouth was a grinding machine, with giant teeth designed to crush any living being in seconds. But it wasn't just its size that made it unbeatable. It made no distinction between prey, fish, marine reptiles, even other mosasaurs. It devoured everything. Its bite force was so intense that it could destroy any resistance. If you were a potential victim, you wouldn't have time to react. Your only chance of survival would be never crossing its path, and even that was unlikely. When Mosasaurus attacked, its prey had no chance of escaping. And if you thought the depths of the sea were the only territory for these giants, get ready to meet a monster that dominated both land and water. Deinosuchus, the Cretaceous crocodile, was an incomparable predator. 12 meters long, it destroyed anything in its path. Its powerful jaw left no room for escape. It wasn't just confined to the waters, it patrolled the shores, waiting for any living being to come near. If you were a dinosaur or a large herbivore, that was your last stop. Deinosuchus didn't hesitate. Its attack was so immense that any creature that got near the water was already lost. It didn't need to be fast. Its crushing strength did the job. No matter the size of the victim, Deinosuchus simply destroyed and devoured everything in its reach. It was the master of the shores. Now, if you think this giant crocodile was the worst, wait until you see the next predator. The Zonus, also known as the bulldog fish, was a fish with an insatiable appetite. 10 meters of pure fury and speed. Its jaw wasn't just big, it was perfect for destroying anything. Everything that moved was a meal. Fish, turtles, and even other smaller mosasaurs were devoured in seconds. Zonus had no limits to its hunt. It jumped out of the water like a torpedo, attacking with precision and speed that left the victim no chance to react. Its jaw was a weapon of destruction, crushing everything it found. There was no escape. The predator never rested, and its hunger seemed to grow larger. But the true size of aquatic terror doesn't end here. The next predator will leave you speechless. Parapuzotia was the monster of the depths. With 11 meters in diameter and a virtually impenetrable shell, this ammonoid dominated the seas with a defense so strong that even the largest predators couldn't even scratch its shell. Its natural protection was impeccable, and it used it as an absolute advantage over any threat. If any mosasaur or other predator dared to attack it, they stood no chance. Parapuzotia wasn't an easy victim, it was a living fortress. Its resilient shell made it practically invulnerable, and any creature that tried to attack it would fail immediately. No matter how big the attack, it remained unscathed. Now you must be wondering, how could there be something even more terrifying than this? The answer is simple. Yes, there is. If you thought you knew the most fearsome predators, get ready for the true king of the Western Interior Seaway. This monster was so colossal and feared that no one dared challenge its dominance in the waters. The true aquatic terror of the Cretaceous wasn't just a predator, it was a living legend. Leedsichthys. This animal was the largest fish that ever existed, measuring over 20 meters long, with a mouth so big it could swallow a whale whole. Imagine a fish the size of an airplane, with teeth and a jaw designed to devour everything in its path. It didn't hunt, it consumed, feeding on any aquatic being within reach. But as much as these predators ruled the marine world, the true impact was in the balance they created. They were, in a sense, the architects of the marine ecosystem, shaping a world where survival depended on quickly adapting to new threats, new prey, and the ever-changing environment. But what you may not know is that, With all this dominance, the Western Interior Seaway was not eternal. The transition to new environments, the disappearance of some of these creatures, and the climate changes that affected the planet also played a crucial role in the extinction of these species. The world changed, and with it, many of the giants who once ruled these seas disappeared, leaving only fossils and stories that we now try to understand. As these creatures, now extinct, continue to fascinate and terrify us, the question remains, what else does the planet hide in its depths? What other worlds have existed and disappeared without leaving a trace, just like the Western Interior Seaway? And above all, what other insane predators might be lurking somewhere on the planet, waiting to be discovered? The answers are out there, in fossils, in deep oceans, and in secrets still to be uncovered. Every predator was a fundamental piece in a food chain where everything had its place and role. These giants weren't just hunters, but also the rulers of a wild and unforgiving world. Every battle, every struggle for food was a constant, and their victory or defeat shaped the future of that sea. With such formidable predators, the Western Interior Seaway became a battlefield where only the strongest and most adaptable survived. While these giants hunted, other dinosaurs and marine creatures tried to survive their attacks, often being forced to hide in deeper waters or flee to less dangerous areas. But the truth is, there was no total escape. The sea was vast, but not vast enough to hide from predators like Mosasaurus or the fearsome Tylosaurus, who knew how to hunt even in the most challenging conditions. Now imagine a land where predators and prey constantly struggled, in a world where only those able to adapt quickly could survive. It was a world full of monsters, a place where violence was the norm and survival was a constant battle. The Western Interior Seaway was a place where evolution tested its limits, and those who survived became legends. How did these creatures manage to evolve into such monstrous forms? Was it the result of millions of years of constant pressure, testing their abilities to hunt, fight, and survive? Or was it simply nature's design, creating a world of giant predators to rule the seas and the skies? What's clear is that these marine predators were perfect adaptations for their environment. Over time, they became unstoppable machines of death, creating a balance that kept the ecosystem in check. And yet, despite their dominance, they were still at the mercy of nature's unpredictable forces. For if we can only imagine how terrifying it must have been to live in an ocean full of monstrous creatures, with no way to escape their deadly jaws. Yet even in the face of such terror, the ocean's depths harbored many more mysteries than we could ever have guessed. As these predators ruled the seas, the Western Interior Seaway became an ecosystem driven by the constant battle for dominance. The largest and most aggressive marine predators fought not only for food, but also for control of the waters. Survival meant not just being strong, but also being ruthless. These massive creatures not only dominated their environment, but also shaped it. The survival of each species depended on their ability to adapt, evolve, and maintain their position at the top of the food chain. The marine world was like a deadly chess game, with each creature playing its role, ensuring its survival. One of the most fascinating aspects of these sea monsters is how they evolved to be such efficient hunters. Some, like the Mosasaurus, used their size and speed to overpower prey, while others, like the Tylosaurus, relied on stealth and agility. Each predator had its unique strategy, tailored to its environment, making them almost unstoppable in their own right. And just when you thought the seas could not get any more terrifying, another danger lurked in the depths: the unknown. The creatures we know about are already insane, but what about the ones that have not yet been discovered? What other monstrous marine reptiles could be waiting in the deep, hidden away in the ancient waters of the past? In many ways, the Western Interior Seaway was like a giant lab, where evolution tested the limits of what was possible. Creatures that were built to survive extreme conditions, with the power to obliterate everything in their path. They were living proof of how nature pushes life to its absolute limits. Yet even as these ancient sea monsters dominated their world, they were still vulnerable to change. The shifting landscapes of the Earth, changing climates, and the rise of new species brought about the eventual extinction of these colossal predators. But the impact they had on the ecosystem was undeniable. The ocean of the past was a terrifying place, but it also holds clues to understanding the world we live in today. The fossils of these sea giants are like time capsules, giving us a glimpse into a world we can no longer reach. Every discovery made about these creatures adds another piece to the puzzle, helping us understand how the natural world evolves and adapts. As we continue to uncover more about the past, It's possible that one day we'll find new clues about other ancient monsters that still remain buried in the depths of the ocean. What other legends of the sea are waiting to be uncovered? We can only imagine.